Yo, first of all, guys, amazing job on this film. This is the Resident Evil film that I wanted to see. It's crazy. I haven't played the game in years, but seeing you guys in that mansion in some of those scenes, it brought me right back to the tone of the game. First of all, can you guys tell me a little bit about your characters? Tom, we're going to start with you. Let's talk about Albert Wesker for a second.
Yeah, I mean, if you played the games, you know that Albert Wesker is the guy in the sunglasses, quite villain-esque in his manner, and this version of the film, it's very grounded and it's very three-dimensional, and that Wesker from the game, that version of him doesn't exist in this world, but we wanted to kind of honor what he is and what the stuff that the problems that he creates from his actions, basically, and really kind of play into the guilt and the morality and the betrayal, I suppose, and the human aspect behind that, and that he really is a good friend of all of theirs, but ultimately he's just very selfish and creates a very selfish act for himself for self-gain. And but the human side of this version of Wesker, has guilt, and that for me was a much more interesting character. I think villains that carry guilt are always more interesting, because it makes them human and it makes them feel that their actions are driven by being the hero of their own story, but ultimately they're not,
Absolutely. Now, Avan, you play Leon, who's the rookie to the force, iconic Resident Evil character, and he's really kind of like the audience's eyes through this world. Can you talk about Leon a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, iconic Resident Evil character, iconic video game character, period. I mean, top 5 for me personally. I mean, I probably played a couple hundred hours of Resident Evil 4. So I've done a lot of playing Leon before I ever played him in a movie. So in that regard, I'm really honored and excited to be able to bring him to life. Yeah, he's the rookie. It's his first day on the job. He's having a terrible first day. Not a great first day, honestly. And yeah, he's the audience's eyes in. I mean, for sure, absolutely. I mean, Johannes was really, he's very specific about how he wanted all these characters crafted and what roles and positions they took for the Resident Evil fans, for the story, for the plot, and for the audience who don't really understand what's going on. And he was really, I think, thoughtful with how he wanted to have that play out. I mean, even so much as to have a Wesker, be a human. He knew that in his Resident Evil, this sort of one-faced, one note sort of villain didn't work. And in that point, all the characters throughout the entirety of the piece had to be pulled out and made more sophisticated because it's not a video game. There's interpersonal relationships. We have to set up stuff, and because you don't get to play as any one of these characters, we have to do the job of making people care about these characters, and part of that is extending their the stuff we know about them. So hungover, first day on the job, having a rough one, and who wants to deal with the zombie apocalypse? When you're a bit hungover. That's not the
Exactly.
That's not the shout.
Exactly.
That's a bad shout.
Yeah, exactly. Tom, I have a question for you. So I think Johannes did an excellent job of capturing the tone of the games. Can you talk to me about what his directing style added to Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City?
Well, for a start, he was very, very well versed on the games, right? So he created the world very well, and so our work was kind of done in the sense of trying to create anything more because it was all there for us.
Right.
Then around that, he had to give a beating heart to this world and the characters within it. So he was very encouraging of us playing around and trying to make these guys real and not feeling that we're too rigid to the script and that we have to. Within scenes where we're getting to play, we should play, and make them as real as possible. And then it gives him more to work with making these characters really bounce off each other. Like a lot of the scenes between me and Jill, and and when we're all in the police office together, all those kind of scenes. They're all very loose, which was important because it makes it more relatable, I think.